Good morning, everyone. Anbagalanji, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the online interaction Knock Down the Lockdown with Dr. Anbagalam, IAS Chief Executive Officer, MIDC. A very warm welcome and special thanks to our guest speaker, Dr. Saab, for sparing his valuable time and being with us today. Dr. Saab is well known to all of us. He is a man of few words and more action, always ready to listen to the problems faced by the industry and find solutions. The tsunami of the second wave has proven to be much worse than the previous one that has hit us just when we were limping back to normalcy. It is indeed tough to find the right balance between life and livelihood, economy and health safety. Even during these challenging times of the pandemic, Maharashtra has emerged one among the many states that are star performers in attracting investments into the industry. MIDC is not only the country's largest industrial development authority, but is also one of the South Asia's most competent investment promotion authority. Over the last 5 to 6 decades, MIDC has enabled the state to achieve a leadership position with regards to investment and industry. MIDC is offering over 40,000 acres land equipped with a ready-to-move-in factory equipment environment. The land available at various locations will be complete with utilities and available at an affordable pricing structure with sectorial tailoring to enable quick setting up of industries. Recently, MIDC has signed MOUs with 54 companies worth 1.12 lakh crores. Out of these 54 companies, more than 36 companies have already been given land and rest are in the final stage of land allotment. MIDC has signed strategic investment cooperation agreements with key corridor partners such as US-India Strategic Partnership Forum, United Kingdom's India Business Council, Korea Trade Investment Promotion Agency, and the World Association for Investment Promotion Agencies for attracting global investors. MIDC has planned several special industry-specific zones to promote the upcoming industries as per the new normal. The continued speed, efficiency, and proactiveness demonstrated by MIDC is commendable. My compliments to you, sir, and your team. IMC has quintessentially been rooted in Maharashtra, having its headquarters in Mumbai, is committed to play its part to help the government build capacity and resilience to future shocks. Keeping in mind, IMC has embarked on a mission Engage Maharashtra, which was launched by our Honorable Chief Minister, Uddhav Ji, on 1st December 2020. The mission entails our chamber and its expert committees working closely with the government of Maharashtra to reboot, reform, and research the economy of our state. We thereafter have entered into an MOU with the Industries Ministry of Maharashtra government to mentor and support MSME sector in Maharashtra. The interaction today is an initiative to provide a platform to members of the IMC to resolve issues faced by them and take suggestions on what MIDC could further do to strengthen the industrial sector in the state. A very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you very much for being with us. Anant, over to you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Mr. Anant Singhania, Vice President-elect IMC and Chairman Industry and Trade Committee IMC to give overview of today's interaction. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. A very good morning to Dr. Anbagalam, CEO MIDC, President Rajiv Bhai, distinguished members, ladies and gentlemen. Today's topic, Knock Down the Lockdown, was a phrase coined by our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Uddhav Thackeray less than 10 days ago. I had the privilege to be a part of a select group of businessmen who interacted with him. As you know, the Maharashtra government is very keen to restart and revive business activity. When I invited Dr. Anbalgan to this meeting, he graciously accepted to talk with our members and find solutions in the process of easing of restrictions in the state. As our president said, Maharashtra is the premier state of the country. Its state GDP is about $400 billion as per 2019-20, of which 30% comes from industrial activity and 55% from services. Maharashtra will probably be the first state to touch $1 trillion in GDP in this decade. For this to happen, growth is needed not only in industries and services, but also in agriculture. Maharashtra's flagship program for investment, Magnetic Maharashtra, has been a grand success. The MIDC has been a backbone of this initiative, and Maharashtra, which attracts 30% of FDI into India, is well poised to take this thing forward. The COVID pandemic has been present for more than 15 months now, and it has negatively impacted every industry in the state to a great extent. The services sector has adjusted to the mandatory work from home policies relatively well. However, several businesses have not been able to sustain themselves in these troubled times. The SME sector has witnessed workforce shortages due to migrant labor amid production and supply chain disruptions. The concerns are on both supply and demand side. The devastating second wave and the consequent lockdown has only compounded the problems for the state and the country as a whole. The government of Maharashtra has implemented a well thought of 5 levels of unlocking the lockdown based on the COVID positivity rate and the availability of oxygen beds. We are now in the second week with more and more districts having lesser restrictions due to a reduction in COVID cases. It's encouraging to see that we are reopening almost as fast as we close down. However, it is worrisome that we may be unlocking too fast. I will request our speaker to address this issue for all of us here. We must avoid, or at least to the extent possibly mitigate the impact of a third wave by proper implementation of COVID appropriate behavior. Lives matter over livelihood, and hence the second lockdown was important. However, thanks to the MIDC and the task force, several industries, including export, remained operational. The ethos that essential for essential is essential allowed these operations to remain open. And if you think about it, none of us faced any supply problems as far as essentials in this lockdown, as opposed to what we did a year ago. Now that the cases have come under control, the need of the hour is livelihood. It is important for MIDC and industries to take steps to keep running and not suffer a full lockdown or being knocked down by the pandemic. So we have a few suggestions to implement quick and mandatory vaccination for all workers so that commercial activity can resume at a fast pace. Release payments to MSMEs, SMEs to ease cash flows. So please, we can use the TREDS bill discounting platform to ensure timely payments to the Udyams. A reduction of fiscal stimulus by perhaps a reduction of electricity bills to the extent of 50% for a period of 6 months to aid the micro and small enterprises. To waive the MIDC extension charges, which is prohibitory. Further, suitable guidance should be given to the small enterprises to stress on the process of restarting business, as many of these small firms may open without proper COVID appropriate behavior. The MIDC has provided a very good help desk, which has been very helpful. However, meeting among stakeholders at regular intervals will ensure that the unlocking of the lockdown happens smoothly and without hiccups. Sir, we look for you to help us to find solutions to these problems. With this, I thank Dr. Anbalgan to agree to address this August Guide audience and request him to share his views. I'm sure this interaction will be very useful and helpful for all of us today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, few words about Dr. Anbalgan. Dr. Anbalgan is the Chief Executive Officer of Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation since September 2018. Before that, he was joint CEO of MIDC and Member Secretary of MPC. He has worked in various departments of Government of Maharashtra like Revenue Department, Rural Development Department, Environment Department, and now on Infrastructure Department and Land Management. Now I request Dr. P. Anbalgan to give his address. We welcome you to, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rajiv, and also Mr. Anandji, also IMC President-elect, Mr. Zuzak, and all the office bearers of IMC, and also all the members who are part of this deliberation. First of all, I extend my warm welcome, and also with lot of hope, which our Honorable Chief Minister has expressed. So while we are unlocking down, we need to be, I think, more careful because everyone knows daily there is a new news emerging with regard to new strains, new variant. So that is the one thing which like everyone need to like behave with caution with all the protocol which is being advised by both the state government and also the GOI. Having said that, of course, we cannot sit at home throughout the year. So you need to unlock because at some time the damage which like COVID would be causing will be maybe less, but keeping all of us like at home or maybe like keeping the manufacturing shut or maybe service shut will render the much bigger damage. So with that time only the state government has come up with a very comprehensive 5 levels of unlocking plan. And unlike last time, it's been like taken care with all the due deliberations from inputs from all the stakeholders, not only in single time, maybe multiple times we had interacted. In fact, we have taken the inputs from all the industrial associations. There are like noted industrial houses that what needs to be the levels of lockdown. So that is some ways like I would say a good start for all of us. And these phases are going to be revised on a weekly basis, depending on like which we were like hearing based on the oxygen bed availability and also what exactly the positivity rate, like from 0 to 5, 5 to 10, and more than 10. So with that introduction, so what exactly we have done as a government, we have done as an organization. Also, I'm just here to share with you. Like similarly with when we were into that first phase of like COVID wave, we started helpline, we have started the online self-certification methods. We also started a help desk. Similarly, this time also we had a lot of meetings, one-on-one meetings with individual industry. There are issues, supply chain issues initially. So we had a meetings with various councils of like chambers from like overseas council and also CAA, FICCI members, not once, like maybe multiple times. And we have a help desk set up at 3-tier level, basically at field level and also middle level and also at the headquarters level. So which covers all the regions starting from Nagpur, Aurangabad, Pune and also MMR. This Aurangabad covers also Nasik and Aurangabad. This help desk is also with a dedicated workforce, so which is like answering queries and also what exactly and their numbers and also been published on the website. So more than that, this time we are like a bit, I would say, successful in like maintaining the supply chain in much better way than the earlier thing, where we have taken into consideration all the crucial sectors, starting with essential and also non-essential, but they are continuous. There are export-oriented units. So movement is made absolutely free. There are no such approvals. From the very beginning, I was to oppose that. We were being asked to put up again, I would say again, you put up your portal and give. I told absolutely, so you need to work on trust. So state government was magnanimous enough to accept all of our demand. Basically, like they accepted that we will be abiding by all the protocol. So with that, I think by and large the supply chain is good, and a lot of investment also started coming. Like Mr. Raju was mentioning, we had done close to 1.12 lakh crore of thing. Even during the regular MIDC functioning, we could allot land to companies for investment of close to around 22,000 crore, where we have not done any MOU. It's a lot of like, I would say it's a surprise even to us, like how come even in this time, lot of investment leads are coming. So that's what the trust which the state, the country, I would say the other states, domestic players and also the overseas players, they have in our state. So that is one thing which really I'm delighted to share with. We also have another quite close to around 15 companies lined up for MOU waiting for the like Honorable Chief Minister, because once this we settle down at this unlock down thing, maybe we can also go for a second level of second round of MOU, where again another close to 25,000 crore we should be like getting it. So that way business is as usual almost to some extent, if not 100%, almost I would say something between 80 to 100. So there are other issues, particularly for MSMEs, which were being, I also told that as a pressure group, everyone is being also there. Though state also has a some level of like limitation, because it is here more GOA has a more leverage to play and more resources at command to play. But still, the state government is also seriously thinking how to bring in like, I would say, revive the MSME sector, particularly in increasing the liquidity, cash flow. That is a one thing. Hopefully, I think Mr. Anand and the team, I would request you to formalize like a regular, I would say, a memorandum to be which can be submitted to the government, so that like we will also follow it up. So that is the one thing where like interest subvention, rescheduling, restructuring, and also there are certain things which state government can also do, like go doing away with the minimum charges for the power, or maybe giving a discount. That's also been worked out by industry department. So it's going also actively considered, because for want of resources, it's been like looked at various options. So these are some of the things which the state is already looking at. From MIDC point of view, last time we could do mobilize around more than 300 crore worth of CSR through all of your like magnanimity. This time also we have done a bit with that, like we have started a canteens, almost 50 canteens, more than 35 quarantine centers, 35 vaccination centers, and also 83 testing centers. Here, initially we got a good response for, I would say, vaccination center. But of course, we all know that there are some limitations, most probably where like Honorable Chief Minister was mentioning that in maybe another 15 days or maybe 3 weeks, the situation to improve. And we should be able to get the vaccines for our like dedicated vaccination centers, which are being set up at an MIDC area or on all the like noted industrial clusters. Moving beyond the present scenario, the state has also looked at the future and has come up with a policy which will incentivize all the manufacturing activities and all the supply chain related with the manufacture of liquid medical oxygen. So the predominant is units, I would say the units set up in Vidarbha, Marathwada, Dhule, Nandurbar, Ratnagiri and Sindhudur shall be eligible for incentives up to 150% of their eligible fixed capital investments, and units set up in the rest of the Maharashtra will be eligible up to 100%. So here MIDC is also offering concessions of between 25 to 50% the land rates. Even in MMR, we are offering 20% concession, where we don't allot even direct allotment, it goes for auction. So I would say I'm really delighted to share with you that till now we could allot land, for example, I think for the manufacturing capacity of close to around 800 metric tons, and also refilling stations up to more than like 16,000 cylinders, jumbo cylinders. So, and this land allotment is also being, the rates is also being recovered in the period of 2 years. Only initially you are required to pay only 25% of the cost, and rest will be in the 4 equal installments spreading across 2 years. That way, MIDC also tried it a bit. As far as extension charges are concerned, we have already done away all the DPC for 16 months, from March to June. Already we have done the entire, I think 15 months, we have done all the extension charges have been done away with, and all the units which were completed in this period, there, whatever period got wasted during this 16 or 15 months are also been rescheduled without any additional charges. And for almost for till I think December, we have also done away with the basic minimum charges for the water. and particularly for MMR, also to promote some sunrise sectors like electronics, data centers. There is also concession given in the transfer charges and also extension charges up to the level of 70%. That way, state is here to support all of us, and as an MIDC is also a small part is playing it. I think we need to engage with a dialogue at a regular interval, which like Anandji was mentioning. So I think with this initial remarks, I welcome the members to actively interact, and whenever and wherever it is required, I would like to and love to respond to that. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. Anand Singhania to take over the question and answer session. Before that, I request all participants to be brief in their questions. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Nitin. Thank you, CEO Saab. You have given a lot of food for thought. You've addressed a lot of areas from the basic survival, from oxygen to the PPE kits, to everything. I mean, to industry, you've given a lot of insight. So you mentioned about giving a memorandum to the government. We will work, and we regularly do it. We will share that with you. So we have several questions which have already come to us, and a lot of people want to ask questions. So I request the people who want to ask, please raise your hand or put in the chat box so that Nitin can unmute you, and please be brief when you ask the question. So before I open the house, I have one question to you, sir, which has come from our members as well. As per the 5-stage lockdown, unlockdown guidelines, the moment the COVID positivity rate and the oxygen beds come down, the level comes down. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you say it, Mumbai has come from level 3 to level 2, but restrictions are still on as per level 3. So if these guidelines are there, so industry is not able to plan how to go forward. Now, I know on a Thursday that we are below level, maybe eligible for level 1. I will plan that next week I will start my business activity on the basis of level 1. But if any district or any local authority puts restrictions, then this gets lost. So we had this question from Rahul Mehta, who looks after the Clothing Manufacturers Association also. He had also this concern that came to the chamber. So your views, sir?
I think I'm audible, Anandji?
Yes. Yes.
The moment, I would say, though these levels have been updated, so automatically the expectation is that this is I would say, Gita, Bible, and Quran, and maybe all the holy granths. So the basic template is there. And if you come to from level 2 to level 1, automatically that is being made applicable. If there are any, of course, because everyone at the field level will go through that order of that particular date, and they may not be aware that this has also an underlining that this has been updated list. So we need to keep that in mind, and wherever there is I would say, an issue, kindly communicate us with our helpline also. We operate between 10 to 5, and you can text me anytime. I think any member also can text me, our marketing department. We will personally, we will prevail upon. And as a system also, I think we should be impressed upon the concerned stakeholders. If there are any specific area or region, of course, we will inform the concerned commissioner of police and also the municipal commissioners. That can be done. This is going to happen in a system like ours. So we need to troubleshoot continuously. That we will do that.
Thank you, sir. So the concern that are we opening too fast or too slow? What are your views?
That's more more technical. So though I can answer from industry side, so the task force does all the deliberations. It should be a thought of decision. So I should not have any comment on that. So Sarkar ka decision hai, apna decision hai.
Right. Can I request Mark Fernandez? He looks after our shipping committee, and logistics is a key part of this entire supply chain management, because there's a lot of disruption that has happened. Mark, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I would like to thank our President Rajiv Podarji and Vice President-elect Anandji for organizing this interaction, and for your good self for being with us. So looking at you, a young officer, a pragmatic officer, very positive. We are very happy to interact with you. So I head the Shipping and Logistics Committee in IMC. One of the biggest failings that we find in Maharashtra is the availability of land for the logistics sector. We can't get a piece of land, which is about 5 acres or even 3 acres minimum for setting up a logistic park or a container terminal. Next thing is, unfortunately, when we go to acquire land of MIDC, we are sent to brokers who want 60% check, 40% cash. Now, none of our firms generate cash, so we have another problem. The third issue is regarding the ULC, which is so ambiguous, and I was told the government is withdrawing it finally, but there's no clarity. In adjoining cities, states, it's easier to get land, but MIDC and Maharashtra, which is our bloodline, and we want to be here with two major ports of Mumbai and JNPT. It is sad that, as you know, Mundra has overtaken our largest premier port of JN Port. I was on the board for 10 years of JNPT, and it's only because we lack availability of free land. So could you throw some light, sir?
Two things. One, land for logistic. See, land for logistic.
This one that you read in, I don't understand this one.
Land for logistic, my approximation goes, anything priced more than 3,000, 3,500 square meter per square meter will not be a feasible option to put up a logistic park. So this is what the actual assessment after talking to so many logistic players. Being MMR, you all know, it's a resource, I would say resource crunch, and particularly land crunch. It's everyone accepted. So they are all matured industrial estates. You do not have any free land to allot. This is a fact. So now we are expanding in Taloja, we are expanding in Kalapur. So Kalapur, we are acquiring close to 2,000 acres, and where we are for a logistic, I would like to price it at much lesser rate than for the engineering hub or anything. So even for a Chakan, I would say we have set up a logistic park at 500 acres, where the original land rate is at around 5,000, but we price it at around 3,300. So almost 1,700 per square meter was the discount given to logistic, because per square feet rentals are different from the different region. Bhiwandi, it's like 7 rupees to 15 rupees. If you go to Aurangabad, it is 15 rupees. Ranjangaon, it is 20 rupees. Chakan maybe maximum 22 rupees. So it takes 6 to 7 years. So one thing we are addressing that Taloja, we are acquiring around 800 to 900 acres, but Taloja, we ourselves are offering around 2 crore an acre. So raw land cost alone comes to around 10,000 per square meter. So add another 1,500 per square meter. So with all overheads, it comes to around 15,000 square meter. So we should not have. So we are looking at some land parcels close to JNPT. I am also in touch with some of the companies who have aggregated the land. But for all purpose, Kalapur can develop, because Kalapur is very close. And it's only the industrial area which we are looking at is only 5 to 6 kilometers from the expressway toll naka. So the out of 200 acres, maybe we should earmark nothing less than 500 acres. Then that should suffice our issue, because we do not have a land, and we don't do basically. For example, we should have though MIDC doesn't promote any land trading, but we are seriously thinking those who have done the land, who are trying to part away, MIDC should have an online portal, more like we have a lot of like real estate online portals are there where you can log in and you can check for the land. So here also we are thinking seriously. So that should take away this particularly the who's our intruder. Transactional advisors are there to stay if it is on a good business way, but I don't comment on any what exactly the CNC component, but this we need to do it on a longer run, and we are looking at maybe in another 3 to 4 months we should not have any issue of the land thing. That is a main thing we are looking at, and that logistic park should take care of that. And anything there are any personal like special issues, that same can be kindly addressed to me. We are very much sensitive, and at least from my side and my entire team at headquarters are very much sensitive, because MIDC is a huge organization. We are here to stay. There are like always there are players to disrupt the functioning. That of course we should be overcome that.
Thank you, sir. But what about the ULC, sir?
ULC, though I think, see, hope you are recording it, but it's okay. I'll just also share. Most probably government will come up with a GR maybe in a day or two.
Okay, thank you.
For industrial purpose, I think government likely to do away with the ULC charges. Of course, the ULC charges are there to stay for residential and commercial.
Sir, I'm happy to note that you're saying that at Taloja, you're setting up and acquiring land. And we have our new international airport coming up at Panvel. So for a logic player, Panvel, Taloja, JNPT become the natural hub for us. So how do I connect, or whom do I connect with in your organization to place my requirement?
GM Marketing. You can mail it, and also CEO at midcindia.org. GM Marketing is a single point contact.
Thank you, sir. Lovely chatting with you. Thank you.
We will circulate. There's a help desk list of numbers which has been provided by MIDC. We'll circulate it to all, so you will have it handy. Now I'll take the question. Sir, we have one of our members, Sunita Ramnathkar. She's also on our committee, managing committee. She has a peculiar problem that she has a factory at MIDC Ambad in Nasik. But I believe the data has been hacked and she's unable to start operations since 4-5 months. Sunita, Ji, with you?
Yeah, so this was a factory which we purchased around in February. And there was a slight discrepancy in the land measurements, so which was corrected after long negotiations with MIDC and everything. It was corrected. And now when we have to register, we cannot register because the corrected data in MIDC has been hacked. And we've written to everybody, including CEO at MIDCindia.org, IPCO and everybody, but we are not able to register, and hence we are not able to get an NOC or start the factory since February. Now this is a full export-oriented factory and we need to start it ASAP. Can you help us? The data has been hacked. Can you help us? Hello?
Thank you, Sunita ma'am. Basically here, all the data has been restored from April 1st. I think there are maybe very specific issue with reference to the plot because of the land management system must be having some area that
no, that was corrected. That was corrected.
So,
before the stamp duty was paid, it was corrected.
So I think right after the meeting, I'll put someone on job.
Yeah, please. At Nashik, it's at Ambad, W46.
I know.
W42, sorry.
W42. Yes. I also have a joint show with me, so we'll see that maybe in a day or two it is resolved. We'll do that.
Please do, sir. I'm really eagerly waiting for it because the factory has to start, the export has to start. It's
Sure.
totally exported.
Done, ma'am. Done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See, you'll get prompt reply. Don't worry, Sunita ji, you'll get thing. So next question, international business is very important. As Rajiv Bhai said, we signed 54 MOUs, a lot of FDI is coming into India. So there's a question from our International Business Committee Chair, Dinesh Joshi. Over to you, Dinesh.
My compliments to the IMC President and also Vice President-elect Mr. Anand Singhania. So thank you very much for interaction, reassurance, and also giving I can say, a lot of support to the industry. So what we have seen that a lot of FDI has been coming into Maharashtra, no doubt about it. And already, as Mr. Mark Fernandez raised the issue on the land. Land is the most critical issue as far as even the international investors are looking at, and they prefer Maharashtra. They prefer to be near Mumbai. But there have been certain I can say major issues where the land is not very easily available also, and as a result of which, and also, there have been middlemen who, come discuss. So people have been looking at other states also. So how can, sir, MIDC look at, sort of reassuring that this business does not go, or, look at it that, we retain business in Maharashtra where there is more employment and, sort of growth created, because we don't want business to go to other states. Thank you.
I think, Mr. Dinesh, I will elaborate. One thing is like land availability in 5 zones. So Nagpur, you have a full, like you have Butipuri, you have 4,000 acres. Amravati, the corridor, you have 8,000 acres. You come to Aurangabad, 10,000 acres. You come to Nasik, you have a Dindori 1,000 acres. Malegaon, another 1,500. Supa, like Amanagari, another 1,000. You go to even Nandurbar, Nawapur, you also have a land. You go to Sholapur, Kolhapur, you also have fairly. Kolhapur is again an issue. MMR was an issue for a long time. So we have done one in Karadi, close to Shahpur, close to around 900 acres. Almost we have distributed more than 500 crores. So that has been almost final stage. And we are also in talk with a major player who is looking at around 250 acres of land. Again, logistic and warehousing player only, e-commerce firm. So that is one thing. Second, we are also developing this Kalapur engineering hub with a logistic hub close to Tolnaka. I would say a place called Izambe. If anybody understands Patalanga's map, I think geography, next to like Novazyme. It's like just in 2 to 3 minutes from that Novazyme. So that is another land parcel which can be potentially developed as a logistic hub because it's going to be cheaper. We are going to price it much reasonable for the logistic hub. So MIDC will not make any money, but we want the players to come. Third, we also have a land close to around 15,000 acres in Mangaon. That is also been finalized. Only I have another 400 or 500 acres to take. So 14,000 acres has been taken possession. Master planner AGC is appointed. It's almost more than 3,000 hectares. Master plan is being done. So this will be a tech city. So there will be a railway connectivity between Digi and this place. So this is another parcel of land. It is readily for available. Shahpur Dharan, again another Tata's land. We have taken around 900 acres and another 1,000 acres we are acquiring. Taloja, which I mentioned, I had released 400 crore only last week, only for a compensation. So I'm going to acquire close to around 800 to 900 acres. Maybe it may go up to 1,000 acres. With this, all these partial, I think we should be comfortable at least for another 5 to 10 years. I'm also looking at some land parcel close to JNPT. No, it's not a big, maybe 200 to 300 acres. So that it's like you can have a ICD container depots we can also look at. Particularly on way to Goa, Bombay, particularly that the land is so costly. It's like a gunta 7 crore, 8 crore. It will not be possible for a logistic park to set up. So that's what we are venturing into that Kalapur, and it should be done away with. Once you have a ready-made land, then you online apply. See, when there is no land, somebody is trying to sell it, then all the XYZ are creeping in. So, but that database, though we don't encourage because we are not here to promote the trading. But now seriously thinking, we should have a platform where our people should put up and you should buy online. So that I think we will put it up. I think this another 2 to 3 months you will be comfortable enough to accept you apply for the land in this area. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dinesh, you have a follow-up?
So just one suggestion and one question is that are you also considering to look at developing specific country clusters? That is one. My second suggestion is, although MIDC does have good infrastructure, but they lack healthcare facilities. And just yesterday or day before yesterday, what I read in the newspaper that they have, all over India, they're creating 50 modular, hospitals. So if you can look at, at least in Nasik or, Pune, at certain important areas where there are modular hospitals created and it comes at a much lower cost, the technology, there are several pre-engineered technologies. You can erect the hospital in a very short period of time with all the, facilities. So if you can consider that, I think it would save a lot of, I can say accidents, injuries, and deaths also to a great extent, because there are no, hospitals which are very close to the MIDC in the remote areas. I know that there are in Nasik, Pune, Mumbai, it is there, but not in the remote areas. So if you can please consider that. Thank you.
Two things. One is on country cluster. We have already set up a Japanese cluster in a place called Supa. It's I think midway between Pune and Ramanagar. There, it's being developed as a dedicated Japanese cluster. Though parallelly Chinese and Germans are also there, it has come up very good. So we have a 3 to more potential players already taken on land. So that is the one area which we are looking at, and we are also in serious engagement with couple of like Sweden, German. If any country sizable, like maybe 100 acres, 250 acres, anybody is willing to do, we can set up a country-specific clusters. We are also, in fact, we are starting the country desk for almost 10 to 12 countries, maybe in a week or so. So this is one thing, particularly Aurangabad is emerging very good. So a lot of like, I would say auto components, bulk and also display related food processing. So there is one area we should seriously look at. And even countries like Turkey, Thailand, they are coming up with a, like, it's not a big investment, like 100 crore, but they are like quite number of companies. That is one thing we are looking at. We can seriously think of it for a country specific thing.
So thank you. I think that's
Thank
an
you, sir.
excellent idea about, implementing more country-specific clusters. In fact, the next question is from Saurabh Shah. He works across with various countries to facilitate inbound FDI. So, and of course, he's very active with the chamber as well, and also with the Indo-American chamber. Over to you, Saurabh.
Thank you, Anand. Good afternoon, sir. And thank you very much for sharing all the initiatives under your dynamic leadership. Sir, I have 2 points here. One, as MIDC has strategic investment cooperation agreement with few foreign agencies, are this the spatial corridors in terms of preferential treatment to the companies coming from this continent? And what are the key highlights of that? And second, sir, is a humble suggestion to be made to you this afternoon. If MIDC can encourage MSMEs to come up with clusters for technology transfer, and this can be integrated with the country clusters or the spatial corridors, MSMEs will get technology at reasonable rate in terms of the requirement, so that the cost can be divided amongst all the participants of the clusters. This is a humble suggestion for you to respond, sir. Thank you.
For Dinesh, one point I think forgot to answer regarding the healthcare facility. For all the old matured, I think industrial parks, we did have like 20% of the area earmarked for all the support activities, and we do have hospitals, even like TTC we have given hospital, but there are areas like maybe not so remote, maybe so we need to look at that, and we can even in fact allot the land at concessional rate. One thing which we did maybe 2 to 3 months before, we have given an offer to ESI, because anybody who is like I think receiving a salary less than 20,000 per month will be automatically a member in that ESI. So almost more than 10 places we have offered them the land at very, very concessional rate, starting from Butipuri, Aurangabad, even Nasik, Pune, Chakan, Talegaon, Ranjangaon, Ahmednagar, all the places. So even ESI has a huge resource potential. So this is one thing which we should look at. Secondly, for all the upcoming industrial parks, particularly on a larger park like Talegaon Electronics Park, even a Mangaon High Tech City, Auric City, they have a much more area, more than 30% of the area for the support amenities. It's like even educational infrastructure, health infrastructure, affordable housing. So I think future we are going to create industrial cities, not like just industrial parks where you have like a haphazard housing and other thing. This is one thing. Second, as like which I was mentioning for a country desk, as far as see anybody we are like signing in memorandum of understanding like US India Strategic Partnership Forum, maybe UK India Business Council, JETRO, Kotra, you name them. So absolutely they are part of MIDC. So this is one thing. See, basically then you become a household name. So automatically there is no question of preference, you are there with us. But going beyond that, anybody who is coming from overseas is given a preference treatment. I would put in another way. Any FDI is being given a preference treatment, and any industrial houses which is going to invest minimum 50 crores, and anybody has any presence in any other parts of the country is also being given preference. See, time and again, like we used to give a preferential treatment to overseas countries, overseas like investment. So we thought that why not our domestic players? So anybody is a bona fide investor from maybe from Hyderabad or maybe from Chian, maybe from Bangalore or maybe from Baroda, who has a sizable plant and he is trying to invest in Maharashtra across the area subject to availability of land, they should be given land on priority. So this is a policy decision which we have taken, and any strategic partnership is always, of course, it's more than the priority. This is the most preferred nation. It's like more than the priority. It's the most preferred client. Priorities offer all of them from starting from. Third is one thing, MSME. MSME, I think at least in places like Amravati, Butipuri, Dindori, where like still they are picking up, the demand is less. There, I think we should set up an MSME park with a plug and play. So we are going to start that one in Aurangabad in 50 acres and also in Butipuri and another in Dindori, where we will be giving the rental sheds, 500 square meter, 100,000 square meter for rental values of maybe vary from 10 to maybe 17, 18 rupees, depending on the area. So this is one thing. Fourth, I would say any anchor tenant coming, investing around 1,000 crore. So I should be able to set up a vendor park for them. On my, I think I can put maybe 100 crores and I can set up a vendor park for them. So they can come on rentals. So this also I can offer for all ultra mega projects. Those who is investing like in electronics and all, maybe more than 1,500 crore in overall 4,000 crore, then I can set up a vendor park for them. There are a lot of things like MIDC is touching out. I think hopefully, I think it should bring in more investors.
So thank you. I think if I may request for you to share the latest initiatives that you have taken. We do read about in the press, but if we can get a concise thing, we can share with our members so that members are more aware of the latest guidelines and proactive approach the MIDC has done. So you spoke about clusters and Saurabh mentioned about tech transfer. So we have a question about recycling of industrial waste. You already have this common hazardous waste treatment plants at various MIDCs. Can we look at recycling of waste? And, one of the concerns is, with COVID, there's a lot of, masks, PPE kits, which are being disposed, whether they are being properly disposed at the various MIDCs, because this can also cause secondary infection. So, and our IMC has a, center across at Navi Mumbai also. They're very keen to work with the MIDC to see whether we can find a way to recycle all this industrial waste. And with this, I'll request Mr. Jain, he's heading our IMC Navi Mumbai, you know him well. Mr. Jain, could you please?
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. This is R.K. Jain. I am chairing the IMC Navi Mumbai committee. And I have my industrial unit in TTC, MIDC area for last 30 years. Sir, I would like to say it has always been prestigious to have your industrial unit in MIDC areas. And especially about TTC area, I would like to say that the services and infrastructures are excellent in this area. There is one issue, sir. As per the policy of MIDC, you give preferential land allotment to the existing industrial unit holders in the same area. Now, since there is no clarity from your area office, many consultants and agents, they operate in the same area and approach to the existing unit holders that if they want the land allotment, they can facilitate. Now, I would like to request MIDC that they can have the help desk or the information desk in the area where the industrial units, industrial parks are there, like Taloja or TTC. So that will clear the doubt from the mind of the industrialists and they can avoid dealing with the consultants.
It's a good suggestion. I would say we should go one step further to, I think maybe list out the plots available for allotment. That makes sense.
Right.
Maybe that can be also circulated to industrial associations.
Right.
Otherwise, see, here why this policy was also brought in when I was a giant in 2013, because why an industrial house should bid out any land? He's a bona fide, he's not a trader. So, and so if he has consumed 20%, 30%, whatever, like a bona fide use, and he should be given a land. So we, what normally at the field level happen, so I will identify a plot close to my plot. So you may not know, you may be on the other side of that. Yes. You may be thinking that it's an open space. So I will use my cloud and I will see that it is converted and be with that percentage. So we can go. The only thing is TTC and MMR, we do not have much, but this exercise can be done. And help desk is one thing which we are looking at seriously, and even at headquarters level, for all purpose, not only during COVID. There will be a dedicated staff who will be answering all the calls for all the areas. So they will have all the information on that. They will guide you properly.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
So we have overshot the scheduled time, but may I take just last 3-4 questions, if you don't mind? Okay. So there's a question on, whether we can have certain things for the startup industry. Startup require a single window clearance, and there are concessions which are being given. So whether this can be given, even there's a question from Mr. at Jalgaon MIDC from Prashant Toda. He said that he's applied for green belt permission, but not yet received. And he was wondering whether transfer fees for startup concession can be given. And the moot is that, can we do a single window clearance, quick clearance, easy clearance, especially for startups? These people have no background and they require this hand holding.
I think we should be able to do that, and we should define the startup in a to bring in a clarity. I think one that is done, maybe we can have a dedicated link for them, and from there they can come in the single window clearance system. That is the one thing we can look at, and particularly for technology startups and other thing. So that is the one thing we should seriously think of it. Which for a waste and other thing, which I wanted to respond. These particular wastes they come under biomedical waste. So we do have a facility in Mumbai, and we also have a facility in, I think, Kalyan. I think we have, when I was in MPCB, one proposal was approved. I think most probably that must have commissioned. But we need more such facilities. But unfortunately, biomedical waste handling as a business is not that lucrative. It takes at least 7 years, 8 years to break even, and provided you get a good quality and of course a good volume of waste. But we can look at, and we can also coordinate from industrial association and also local waste management facility operator. Lastly, for a common hazardous waste transportation, storage and disposal facility, Taloja we have it in Ranjangaon, we have it in Butiburi, we also have it in TTC. TTC, though it is like very limited, it's have only a landfill. So we need to develop more such one for Aurangabad, which is required, and now the DMIC city is coming up, and all this MMR is going to be like Raigad. The bulk drug park, the pharma city is coming up, the sector specific. I would like to mention that in Raigad. So we need another facility, which I am seriously looking at. Maybe in a year or so, we will be putting it up.
Thank you, sir. I'll just sum up on the last 2 questions I'll take now. One is, some of our members have raised concern about the maybe the coordination within the department. There's a query on, say, Rabale MIDC, that I think at one of the other ones as well. So I don't want to spend time to go into nitty-gritties of a particular thing, but if you can just guide us where this matter can be escalated, because some of the members are finding that coordination is not well done between these various people. So if something can be done on that account. And related to this, is that if there's a a quick way of change of land use or use of the thing, because whether it is somebody wants to change from canteen to industrial, somebody wants to go from change of land use. So if you could address these 2 things.
Commercial to commercial, there is no permission required.
Of course.
You want a canteen, you want a shop, you want a hotel, nothing, no record. So this was also done during my earlier tenure, because doesn't make any sense. And only thing is industrial to commercial is required. That with that 5%, 10%, that we do it on a regular basis depending on the application. If someone would like to convert the commercial land to industry, I think we should allow them without permission. Only thing is they should notify it. I think we can think of it. This is a good suggestion. Only thing is they should notify it, so that like we make a change in our land use. So that I think that should be okay.
So in fact, looking at various other departments of the government, if you can even automate it through just an online submission, so that it can be paperless and digital. I mean, we are moving more and more toward digital, so we can put it in maybe right to services or something, so that people find it. There's you'll eliminate all the middlemen.
See, I would say like if you get around 25 to 30,000 applications in a year, spreading across around 22 to 23 services. They're all online. The applications which particularly for land use and other thing, the entire state will have hardly maybe 100 or 150 the entire year. And they are like, particularly for commercial to industrial, it should be automatic. It should be automatic. And industrial to commercial, we do it on a regular way. It's more on an application. Maybe, of course, we can do it online. Can do it. That is not on, it's on online. That can be done.
So the last question is, the warehousing and cold storage are charged at commercial rates for transfer and other approvals. The request is if it can be charged, you can look at these slabs and make something, because warehousing is, we don't have an adequate warehousing. I mean, the entire e-commerce has taken off in the last 1 year, and there's a lot of incentive. I mean, we should facilitate as a state more and more warehousing to come here. It will help our supply chain. If there's further disruption at any point of time, we will be geared for, captive consumption. Cold storage, we don't have enough capacity. So if something can be done on this, could you consider this?
One thing, warehouse as a standalone activity, it's always historically in MIDC, it was considered as a commercial activity. So accordingly, that was been done. But I think now recently, particularly in Chakar and all the warehousing has been allotted at industrial rate. I will look into that, and otherwise we can bring in some other policy, maybe midway between that, at least. So that is always there. This also, I will maybe within a week or 10 days, I will revert back.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for your time. I'll ask Nitin to take over. There are a lot of questions. We will make a summary of them, and we'll send it to your office, which have remained unanswered. And thank you so much. Over to you, Nitin.
Thank you, sir. As we come to close of our event, I invite Mr. Ajit Mangalkar, Director General, IMC, to propose the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Nitin. And good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's just past 12. And it's my great privilege to propose a vote of thanks at the end of this highly insightful and online interactive session organized by IMC today. At the outset, I must thank our esteemed guests, Dr. P. Anbalagan, IAS Chief Executive Officer, MIDC, for sparing his valuable time today. Sir, today has been a fantastic interaction between you and our members. And this is something which we were looking for. I mean, normally people come and address and then it goes off. But I think this time we've had a great opportunity to interact with you, and we would like to have many more such, because as you can see, the questions are unending for all our business members. So thank you so much. And just continuing, as COVID-19 induced restrictions are gradually easing in Maharashtra, the state government has cautioned all of us to abide by all norms to avoid another lockdown, and of course a lockdown by the coronavirus. Industry and all stakeholders need to take necessary precautionary measures to avoid impact of pandemic on its day-to-day operations. And this is something which concerns all of us. And really, we would like to work very closely with MIDC so that all our members' concerns with regards to lockdown and other precautionary measures can be addressed. The industrial sector can function uninterrupted while complying with all COVID protocols. This will greatly help all of us to prevent another lockdown from happening. This interactive session brought together industry leaders and government officials on IMC platform to work towards recovery of the industrial sector in the state. And a lot of our queries were solved. Thank you once again. On behalf of IMC, I wish to extend our sincere thanks to all eminent business executives, business owners, representatives from industry association for participating in this interaction. I would also like to thank our President, Shri Rajiv Podarji, and Mr. Anand Singhania, Vice President-elect and Chairman of our Industry and Trade Committee, for facilitating this interaction. In fact, this is something which we really want to keep going, as I said, because this is a great value add that we can do to our members. And last but not the least, I would like to thank Nitin Bhavkar, the OIC of this committee, for facilitating this engagement, and everyone involved in MIDC, because prior to this, we've had a lot of interactions with your staff, sir, and it's been a great coordinated effort. So thank you very much. And thank you everyone for attending this session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.